On the menu today, drink.
My heart is racing.
That's it. It must be here. Let's go.
Welcome.
No, you're the apple of my eye. Oh, hello, chip dippers. Awkward. Welcome to Retro Recipes, and welcome to a recipode where we'd like to invite you to join us on a bit of a personal journey. A bit more personal for me than Puppy Fractic, and kind of an international manhunt, treasure hunt, monitor hunt. See, I'm trying to track down, and I've been trying to track down for probably 8, 9, maybe 10 years, the monitor that my dad brought home when I was about 8 years old, and he showed up with our first ever home computer. It was an Apple IIe, and up on top of my one there, I've got a Commodore 1084S monitor. Now I chose that monitor for a specific reason, because I did know and did remember that it was a green display, and the 1084S, that particular model, has a green button that puts the display into green mode. So that's why we had that one, right? Yeah. However, I would have loved to have found that original monitor, only for one problem. It just doesn't seem to exist. Now guys, when I say I've looked everywhere, I mean everywhere. I regularly check eBay for every type of monochrome CRT monitor that comes up in my saved searches. I must have looked at thousands of listings, but none were ever quite right. And worse, although I have lots of family photos, even possibly one of the world's first selfies taken with my beloved Polaroid, for some reason I just never took photos of my even more beloved computer setups in my childhood home. Not a single one. So to set that right, I've decided to commission a recreation of my childhood setups based on my memories. Now, I started out with this drawing, beautiful artistry here, I'm sure you'll agree. Bob Ros would be proud. As you can see, a key feature I've remembered was that monitor had this anti-glare Perspex panel built into the front of the screen that stretched right from one edge to the other. I always remember how futuristic it seemed at the time. So then Gaz Marshall turned that into this depiction. Now I thought it was great until I got my Amstrad PC 1512 and realized in my faded memories I'd kind of merged the two monitors together. That pivoting stand and the whole streamlined shape running towards the back was from the Amstrad, not the one I had with the Apple. But I knew at least that Perspex front was correct. And I've decided, you know what, enough is enough. Before I do a full 3D render of my childhood setup, I need to just buy my best guess out of all the monitors. So I've whittled it down to 2 of them. Whittle. And they're both a little different, which is weird. Hello, yes, it's okay to be different. So, the first one is this. It's a BMC International BM12EU, and it has that distinctive Perspex glass thing on the front of the screen. It has an amber display. It's commonly seen in photos with the Apple IIe. I say commonly, it took me about 8 years to see it, but now that I've found the model number and I'm able to search retrospectively, it does come up. Now I found one on Fleabay, and it's on its way to me now, so we're going to be able to play with that in this very recipode. And as my princess goes to sleep, the other one is the Prince monitor. Yep, that's the name. I think it was an Italian brand. However, this one has more of that distinctive kind of curve. But the back has this weird kind of design, and I don't really remember it having a handle on the top either. It's possible it's that. However, these are super rare. I've only found one. It's with this museum back in England, and unfortunately they're not willing to part with it at the moment. The other one is with a prop house in the UK, and I can't get in touch with them. I can't get a response, although I could hire that monitor for a day as a film prop. I could even hire it and then just forget to send it back. Now, as part of my reconstruction on my last trip back home, I filmed a little bit to show you of where that Apple IIe was first set up when we unboxed the machine for the first time. So here's my little tour. So this little corner here is where the Apple IIe once sat, and it was on one of those trolleys. And I have really, really vivid memories of countless hours playing Frogger, and Blitzkrieg. That was cool, right? Now you know where I lived. She's never been to England. Now, I do remember that computer trolley I mentioned. It was made by Click. Now, if you have one of those back in England or anywhere, actually, please let me know. I'd love to get hold of one of those, but as you might imagine, they just don't come up on eBay. I might even rebuild one in a future recipode. But for now, thanks to Paul Kitching, the 3D graphics rendering maestro, he's helped me put together and reconstruct that room as it would have looked when I was 8 or 9 years old. Right down to details like the plug, little basket, wire mesh metal plug basket thingy. That's the technical term. And of course, once we had all that set up, as you can see here, the disk drive and the computer looking just like it did, it was time for me to try to reconstruct my memory of that computer monitor that doesn't seem to exist. And here's what I came up with. The Apple IIe moved, I think it was over here. This was my dad's office, so he ran a business from home. And we actually knocked that doorway through right there. So I think the Apple, for a time, was in front of what was a wall right there, and that's where I played Blitzkrieg and those other games. Drink? You're drinking my water. She's never drunk out of a glass before. She does love water, though. Remind me not to drink that. As we discovered when Lady Fractic was trying to water the plants outside in the garden. Well, damn it. Drinking my water. Drinking my water. She loves her water. Well, anyway, with that render from Paul, I was able to start posting on forums and ask people if anyone recognized that monitor. Because there's always a chance that it's not the BMC or the Prince models. And there's also a chance one of you watching this right now might know of a more likely candidate. Either way, on the forum, I got a lot of responses and I found a lot of monitors. Long story short, to help avoid any confusion, here are the monitors that are not the monitor that is the monitor that I want. Not these ones, and these are the wrong ones. This also, as mentioned, is not the monitor, and you might notice that this is always off in my videos, whereas these guys are on. Now, the reason for that is the Apple IIe is faulty. Sometimes when I turn on the machine, I just get this garbled text. Second fault is it stopped being able to read any discs. The drive just spins. Now, apparently that first issue with the garbled text is something called RAM retention, and it's not a fault. Fantastic. If you turn on the computer off and on too quickly, even with a 30 seconds delay, it just retains what was in memory and doesn't clear it fast enough. So that's completely by design. However, there is a fix for that. This is something called ROM-X. It lets you use different ROMs in the Apple IIe, and it also resets the warm start flag, so you get a clean cold boot every time. And if you wanted to create a project like the ROMX, we recommend PCBWay! PCBWay make fantastic quality PCBs starting at just $5. Because as we all know, PCB stands for problematic cold boots. Doesn't it? Does it? But what about that second issue? Well, let's start by heading over there and we'll take the lid off the Apple IIe and try just reseating the floppy disk controller card. We'll then swap it to another card slot just to see if there's an issue with the slot itself. And let's see if that helps. Easiest fix ever. And now it stopped working again. Oh, it's the weight. Who would have thunk it, huh? I know, yeah. It's just too heavy.
Are you saying it needs to lose weight?
No,
Then what do you mean?
it's just big chassis.
I like big chassis and I cannot lie.
Strange.
A few moments later.
That's it. It must be here. Let's go. Side note, did you know these are made of cornstarch? Magic. This is so exciting. I don't know. I just don't know. Is this mine? That is giving me... My heart is racing because I was having doubts. That really looks like what I had. Really, 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 really does. Guess we should plug it in. Ooh. Instant success. Oh, that is a nice display. That is really nice looking. Oh, I am so happy. I am so happy. I remember this. I used to go into this mode for my dad's office so that clients would think this computer was a really special one. And I'd make loads of random text and numbers go down the screen like the machine was crunching important data for his quantity surveying company. Wow. 80 column mode. I forgot all about that. Jackpot in every sense of the word, because I am really happy with this. So is this the monitor that doesn't exist? Well, yes. I mean, no, because, well, now it does exist. Again. In fact, you could say I'm so happy with this screen that I want to scream for joy. And with that said, now, only a couple of years late, I can finally program up a quick matching logo to go on this side too, and restore balance to the Force. And restore balance to my studio. Is it 100% the right monitor? I don't know. Is it 100 times better than the one that I had before? Yes, no offense, Commodore. Lying in pieces. It's another video. If you do, however, happen to have a Prince monitor lying around, I wouldn't mind turning the Prince into a frog. I wouldn't mind tuning that Prince monitor into Frogger. Thanks for watching. As always, subscribe and support below. And cheerio. Just like riding a bike or a frog.
Who doesn't like a sassy chassis?